a Merrill Moss Media production. Today we have the absolute pleasure of interviewing Terri Reed. Her latest Harlequin love-inspired title, Ransom, just hit the shelves, and we'll be talking all about things romantic suspense today. Terri's books have appeared on the Publishers Weekly Top 25 and Bookscan's Top 100 lists, and they've been featured in USA Today, Christian Fiction Magazine, and RT Book Reviews. I also want to let viewers know that we've also partnered with the fabulous company Bella J for an amazing Valentine's Day giveaway to celebrate the release of Ransom. Bella J creates fabulous candles with surprise charms inside, lots of cool jewelry that you can find in here. Some people even win diamonds, so you might be a lucky winner, but we can't promise anything. They also make really fabulous notebooks, lots of love notebooks, all Valentine's, and a makeup palette that's really awesome. So we're super excited to be partnering with them for this. So you can enter to win the Lots of Love candle, notebook, and the makeup palette by commenting on the BookTrib live chat page after. So thank you so much for joining us, Terri. It's wonderful to have you here. Before we begin our questions, can you just bring us up to speed about Ransom and the characters and just the whole shebang?
Well, it's the fourth book, sorry. Get so many books going. It's the fourth book in my Northern Border Patrol series, dealing with the men and women who keep our northern border safe. The main character in Ransom is Blake Fallon, who I fell in love with. He appeared in the first book and all the other books, and kept thinking he needs his own story, but I didn't know what to do, and so I was researching different issues that our northern border people deal with, and I stumbled across a diamond smuggling ring, and I thought, oh, that would be good because he's an ICE agent, and that's what he would investigate. And then his partner, who is a Canada Border Service agent, he has his own book coming in next fall. Anyway. So then I thought, okay, well, how do I get a heroine and figure out? And I thought, well, in this particular case, a woman had swallowed jewels and gone over the border. I thought, wow, what people will do for money. And I thought, well, what would people do for love? And then I just kind of played the what if, and I thought, well, what would a woman do if her sister were kidnapped and she had the diamonds to ransom her, but she has to get them across the border without anybody knowing. And so, but she didn't know she had diamonds. She didn't know what this necklace was. So that's kind of how it came to be, and it was really fun to write. Set in Niagara Falls, which
one of
was
my
really
favorite places.
Interesting. I've never been, and it was really interesting to research. So made me want to go.
Now, are your main characters, Liz and Blake, are they modeled after anyone that you know? Were you, thinking of someone in mind when you were writing, or is it kind of all a part of you? How do you think they are?
No, they're figments of my imagination. I would also say that my heroines tend to be more like me.
Yeah.
I try, well, what would I do?
Yeah, exactly.
Especially if they're not law enforcement females.
Yeah.
So Liz has a little bit of me. I mean, there's some things I'm like, oh, what would I do in that situation? Oh, I'd do this. So
exactly. Yeah. So when you come to a point in a book where you're not sure what the character wants to do, I'm sure you're always saying, okay, well, if I was in this diamond smuggling debacle, what would I do? It's very, very cool. Would you call yourself a plotter or a pantser? Do you plan out what you're doing, or do you just go with the flow?
I'm a plotter, huge, heavy plotter. I love to have everything laid out, as many details as I can get up front, because I write really, really fast. So I don't want to stop and go, oh, what should I do here? A lot of times if I don't know, I'll just, in big bold letters, say, research this or describe this, and then move on, because I write fast. So.
Now, before you became a writer, what other lives have you lived? Like, what did you do before you became a full-time writer?
Oh, goodness. I was a model for
Awesome.
about 12 years. So I did that. I've been a receptionist in many different companies. I was a sales clerk at Nordstrom's, which was really fun.
Awesome.
I was a preschool teacher and a daycare worker. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, wide mishmash of stuff.
Yeah. But I think that's good for a writer, you know? It's like pulling all that experience, all the different things that you did.
Oh, and
Um,
a gymnastics coach too. Sorry.
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, did you model like, where did you model? Did you do just like, what type of modeling was it? Very
So I
interesting.
started in Sacramento, California,
Uh-huh.
and did a lot of stuff regionally in San
Cool.
Francisco, LA, and then I
Hmm.
moved to New York and
Hmm.
lived there for a year and modeled there for a year. Mostly well, not runway. I did some runway, mostly showroom runways,
Hmm.
um,
That's
for
awesome.
designers, and then a lot of print, commercial print. And then I moved to Chicago and worked
Huh.
there for a year. A lot of
Yeah.
catalog work there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I did a little bit in Florida, but mostly New York, Chicago, and California.
You're like all over the place. That's awesome.
It was
Um,
fun.
yeah. How did you first become involved in the love inspired line once you were writing for Harlequin? Did they reach out to you? Were you already, writing for
Yeah.
them or?
No, I started writing in '93, and I
Hmm.
went to my first Romance Writers of America conference in '96, and that was right
Oh,
when Love Inspired was starting.
oh, cool.
And so I thought, before that, I was trying to write for intrigue, not
Hmm.
getting anywhere. And
Hmm.
so when I saw Love Inspired, I thought, that's it. That's what I want to do. And so I
Yeah.
started just reading all of the books and studying. And it took me until 2003 to sell to them.
Hmm.
But I just kept submitting and submitting and submitting and
Yeah.
meeting editors and going,
Yeah.
please, please. So, and then
Knocking
they
on the
did.
door.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Um, Now how about the experience of first learning that you would be published? Do you remember like the phone call or the, message that you got about that? Is it, like a really clear memory?
Oh, yeah. I was actually driving my son to preschool, and this was the days
Hmm.
before it was illegal to talk on your phone and drive, which
Right? Those were the
which
days.
seems like a no-brainer now. But
I know,
um,
right?
so I was driving him to preschool, and the phone rang, and I answered, and it was this lovely lady saying, "I'm from Harlequin," in this nice New York accent, and I would like to buy your book. I was like, "Ah, I'm driving. Can I call you back?" So we set up a time, and I took my son, dropped him off at preschool, told all the other moms,
Hmm.
called my best friend, and then called the editor back, and we talked, and there we go.
That's so awesome. That's
Yeah, it was
amazing.
fun.
Did you start out writing romantic suspense or something else? Was it strictly romance when you first started your first, kind of drafts of things, or did you always go toward romantic suspense?
Well, the very first thing I started to write was a historical. I got about
Oh, cool.
100 pages into a Georgian and thought,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I had little tiny babies, and I was just like, okay, this is before computers even. I mean, I had like a little tiny word processor thing, and I was like, I can't do
Oh
the
my
research.
God.
So I started writing contemporary, and at first started writing a romance,
Hmm.
and then I switched to writing a suspense and submitting to intrigue, and then Love Inspired, came about, and I thought, well, I went back to the romance that I had started,
Hmm.
finished it, submitted it, and then they finally eventually bought it. So my
Yeah.
first 5 or 6 books with Love Inspired were for the romance line, and
Yeah.
then I switched over to the suspense line.
How do you find like the perfect balance between suspense and romance? Do you ever find like, oh, there's too much romance in this? Is there like a formula that you kind of follow, or you just go
No,
back and edit?
I wish there were a formula. That would make it easier. I like formulas.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, it really is dictated by the plot and then the characters. And then
Right.
some characters connect really quickly, and I have to actually kind of slow them down and go, whoa, back up here, people. And then some of
Right.
them I'm like, okay, come on, you've got to be able to see what is special about this person. So
Hmm.
yeah, every story is different.
Yeah. Um, so That's great advice, actually, that every story is different. You probably have to approach it differently. Do you have
Mhm.
any other advice for writers that are looking to break into the romantic suspense market in particular? Is there anything you could tell them that you wish you knew?
Um, hmm. Make sure
Kind
you
of a
have
tough one.
a steady plot. Um, I know
Hmm.
there's a lot of pantsers out there, and I think in a romance that's a lot easier. You can be more organic, but in a
Yeah,
suspense, you need to know what your red herrings are and how to slip them in so that they're not too obvious, and
right.
be able to bring all the suspense threads, so that they all come together at the end, so that the reader goes, that's right,
Yeah.
that happened way back then, and now that I understand why that is. And so
Hmm.
it's just learning how to plot the suspense. But overall, I think for any new writer, it's learn the craft and be
Yeah,
teachable.
absolutely. You ever
Mhm.
get together with other writers and kind of do little brainstorming sessions, or do you tend to work alone? Do you ever go to like writing sessions or anything?
Yeah, yeah. When I first started writing, I had, I guess there were five of us, and we met regularly every Tuesday night. And then it slowly died down, and then there was just three of us core people. We met, and then
Hmm.
one moved away, and then we all started doing it online. And I talk almost daily with one of my critique partners.
Oh, that's awesome.
So, yeah.
Um, I love the cover. Like it's so refreshing, this cover, because it's not the typical Harlequin cover with, a cowboy or a man embracing a woman. This is like a really like kind of chilling, stark
Mhm.
waterfall, like a frozen waterfall. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about the cover. Did you work with the design team? Like, did you collaborate with them? Did they totally take the reins? Like, what was the whole concept behind it? Because it's just so different. I don't know if
Yeah,
anyone can see it, but it's pretty
yeah.
awesome. I love the
So,
blue.
as part of the process, I we send in photos that we think represent the book, and so
Oh,
I sent a
awesome.
bunch of photos of Niagara Falls, and this is actually a photo of Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
Um, and so I just sent a ton of them,
Hmm.
and I was really pleased that they chose one that really showed winter in Niagara Falls, because the
Yeah.
book is set in February in
Hmm.
Niagara Falls. And it was
Right.
just, yeah, I was very pleased with this cover. I love our art department. They do a great job.
Yeah, it's amazing. And there's a little walkway like above the falls, like an icy precipice. It looks very dangerous and
Right. Yeah. And then if
I
you
love it.
look down in this corner, there's a observation deck,
Oh yeah. Yep.
um, and that specific spot is in the book.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Ah, love it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's beautiful. What's one of your favorite suspense scenes from a book or a film that you've seen recently or read recently? Is there anything that kind of sticks out for you?
Well, it's not recent, but Silence of the
That's okay.
Lambs,
Ah,
when yeah, when
classic.
Clarice, Jodie Foster's, character Clarice is hunting Buffalo Bill in that house, and it's dark. She can't see, but he's
Hmm.
got the goggles on, the night vision,
Yeah.
and we're and it's shot from his point of view. That was the scariest thing. I still get chills when I think about that, but that's my
Yeah.
favorite suspense scene.
That is a great one. It's really, really creepy.
Hmm.
Wonderful movie. How about your favorite romance scene from a book or a movie? Anything that sticks out?
Um, Goodness, there's so many.
So
Um,
many good
well, the
ones.
movie, I think, again, it's not a new one. Princess Bride, when Wesley, dressed as a pirate, Roberts, tumbles down the hill and goes, "As you wish." It's like,
Yes.
oh, he's Wesley. And we understand, oh, he's saying, "I love you." That's for
Yeah.
me. I was just like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's the best. I love it. Good answers. I like the classics better than the new ones. It's better than recent stuff. Let's be honest. I'm waiting for that really great like thriller to come out and romance. I know they're coming, but I'm waiting. What is your writer space like your creative space? Is it in your house? Do you go to a special spot every day to write?
No, I write at home here at my
Mhm.
desk. I It's a little messy. You can't see it, thankfully. It's a little messy.
Creative
You can see
spaces
my,
usually are.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
my bookshelf behind me, which is all my inspiration, all my fun stuff. But I like sitting in my chair. I like my desk. I like my, I've set it up ergonomically, and I have a hard time writing in public because I get distracted.
Oh
I
yeah.
want to people watch instead. Right. So that
Yeah.
doesn't work for me. So I just
hmm
need to shut the door, put my music on, head down, hand on
hmm
keys.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask you, what do you need near you to get motivated? Is it just music that you need? Is there like coffee, like snacks? Like what do you need near you at all times to kind of get
Oh,
you
it's
in the
funny you
mood?
should ask that. I have a drawer that's full of candy. And
Oh,
I
that's
just
awesome.
actually posted this on Facebook yesterday. I pulled out a bunch and couldn't decide which piece to eat. So I have candy close by. I have a cup of
Mhm.
coffee or a cup of tea, depending on the time of day. Music. I can't write in silence. I
Yeah.
don't know why. There's just something about the kinetic
There's like
energy
a
of,
rhythm or
of
something. Yeah.
yeah,
Need like a rhythm to it.
yeah.
Um, what are three things that you carry in your purse at all times? It's a random question that I thought of. Three
Lipstick,
things you always need. Three things in your purse. Lipstick. Yeah, that's
a
absolutely
lipstick.
essential.
Um, I have a thumb drive
Yes,
that I
those are
carry with
very
me.
important. So do I.
I don't know why, but it's got all my, I always back up to different thumb drives, and I always have a
Yeah,
thumb drive with me so
exactly.
that, um,
Better safe than
and
sorry.
yeah, yeah, and then a pen.
Yeah.
I have, I think better with a pen in my hand, and
Mhm.
there's nothing worse than getting somewhere and wanting to write something down and not have a pen.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, yeah. Like sometimes I'll think of something when I'm sleeping and I wake up and I'll have like a journal and write. It's like next to
Yeah,
my bed
yeah,
because I've gotten like a great line for something. I know.
yeah. Because you can always
Um,
find a napkin or something to write on, but if you don't have a pen,
exactly. If you're out somewhere,
anyway.
exactly. The pen is essential. I know you've done other series and you spoke about research for this book a
Hmm.
little bit. Can you tell us more about the research for this book and about, some of the research you've done for your other books?
Sure.
Just
Um,
yeah.
well, for this book specifically, I did a lot of online because I couldn't afford to
Yeah.
go to Niagara Falls, which I would love to do.
Right.
But so I did a lot of
One day,
research
one
that,
day.
and then for the law enforcement online, I've got several books that are specific for different areas of law enforcement. And then this last fall, I just did a 14-week Citizens Academy with the Washington County Sheriff's Department, which was
Oh, neat.
fabulous. Yeah, it was one
Yeah.
night a week and then 3 Saturdays, and we got to meet, I think, almost every officer in the whole department, and they all talked about what they did and how they do it. We got to ask questions, so I brought some questions to them. Said, okay,
That's
I have a hero.
awesome.
He's got to do this. How would he do it? And so I got
Yeah.
expert answers. So that was really fun. And then I just applied for the FBI Citizen Academy.
Oh,
So I'm
cool.
hoping I got picked. I won't know
That's
yet.
great. Is that like a class full of people, or is it just you that gets to
Oh,
go there? Is it like writers
oh,
or?
it's a whole class and they're all walks of life. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Very
was really
cool.
fun. The Washington counties one, there were several recruits who were going to go into law enforcement, so they went to the class to kind of get an idea of what they were getting themselves in for.
Yeah.
So,
No, other than doing that, that's super exciting. I hope you get the FBI one. That's so cool. Are you attending any conferences or events in the near future? Anything writing related that you're looking forward to?
I am actually my local chapter, Romance Writers of America, Rose City Romance Writers. We're having a
Fantastic.
2-day weekend event in like three
Oh,
weeks. Yeah, we have a FBI forensic analyst coming. Yay.
wow.
Yeah, he's gonna come, and so I've got a list of questions that I keep adding to because
Mhm.
I'm working on a new series with a forensic tech in a
Right.
forensic lab. So that's
Mhm.
this perfect timing. And then we have somebody coming to talk about branding. So that's really cool. And then this summer, I'll be going to Romance Writers of America's national conference in Nashville. Oh, no, not Nashville, sorry. I'm going to Nashville the week before. San Diego.
Yeah, San
Beautiful San
Diego.
Diego.
That's going to
Yeah.
be amazing. Yeah, we've had a lot of writers on, and they're all really excited about San Diego. That's going to be fantastic. Do you ever
Well, it's West
see
Coast.
writers there? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you ever see writers there that you're like a fangirl over, like, oh my God, it's like my biggest fan, I'm her biggest fan. Have you ever had a
Oh,
moment
yes.
like that when you freak out? Anyone in
Yes.
particular?
Oh, I think I've scared Catherine Coulter a few times. Because I'll just run up
Like, what is going on?
and she'll like,
Yeah.
no. I'm like, I love your books. Thank you for writing them. But yeah, and then
Hmm.
Nora, obviously, Nora Roberts. I love Nora.
Oh
She's
yeah.
so gracious and sweet.
Yeah, everyone
Susan
says that
Elizabeth
about her.
Phillips. I mean, big
Hmm.
fangirl of a lot of them.
Great. What do you go to panels there? Can you tell like viewers a little more about it if they don't know like what it all consists of? I've been to
Okay,
some
yep.
writers' conferences in the past and they're so much fun.
They are. They are. So Romance Writers of America, they every year have a national conference and it's workshops galore. I mean, there's workshops on everything you could think about with writing, from
Hmm.
craft to business to personal life to, um, you know, just even research, self-defense classes. And there was once somebody came and did, the undergarments in the 1800s.
Oh my gosh.
It's like, wow,
So
so
they
it's,
really get down to the details.
yeah, so lots of classes to go to and networking. You see everybody, and it's fun to see everybody once a year. You connect
Yeah,
with your editor or your agent, and so yeah, it's really fun. It's really
that's awesome. Now, just in general for all your stories, or maybe just, maybe Ransom in particular, what do you want readers to take away from this story, or kind of what's the theme for all your stories that you want them to take away?
That's a good question.
Themes and lessons.
I think every book is a little different in that regard, but people talk about each author has a theme, and a lot of my
Hmm.
books seem to have the theme of either forgiveness or the theme of letting go of control and realizing
Okay.
that we aren't always in control and sometimes we have to just
Yeah.
make the best of what's happening and trust that it's all going to work out.
Yeah.
So
Very important lesson. And
mm.
I was curious, did what made you pick Niagara Falls as the setting? Is there anything in particular, or were you like assigned that for the book, or?
Yeah, no, it was my choice.
Yeah.
I was looking at a map of um, the boundary line between Canada and US, and I thought, oh, I didn't realize it sat right there on the border, and I thought that would be a
Hmm.
fun place to go. Let's set it
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah,
It is a very cool place. And very
yeah,
romantic too, because everyone used to go there for weddings. They have the bridal falls that looks like the
right,
bride's
right.
veil. So it is a very cool
Yeah,
place.
yeah.
We
It
just
was
got
really
we have a viewer question from Connor. Hi Connor. Thanks for joining. Do you have any obstacles? Did you have any obstacles involved with publishing your first book? Is there any roadblocks you can remember?
um, well, other than I didn't really know what I was doing when I started out.
You're like, that's the
So
main thing.
yeah, I mean, I had high school, college. But I still didn't really understand punctuation, and I didn't know my craft very well. So I was so thankful to find Romance Writers of America and start going to classes and
Yeah,
learning from other writers who said, "Oh, I didn't know what point of view was.
right.
That's not something that the average person thinks about." I
Exactly.
don't even know. I mean, as a reader, I didn't know that that's what I was reading. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
So having to learn, about point of view and past tense, present tense, third tense, whew. So yeah.
right.
So that's why it took 10 years, I think, for me to publish,
Yeah,
because I had to learn.
what perseverance. That
Mm.
is amazing. Um, but we have some more questions. Here's one from Susan. She says, what's one topic that you have always wanted to write about but haven't gotten the chance to? I'm sure there's many that you want to cover.
Oh yeah. That's a good question too. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Gosh. I mean, I don't know. Somebody winning the lottery maybe and what they would do with it and how that would affect their life. Yeah.
That would be
I'm
neat.
gonna have to write that down.
Yeah. Who hasn't thought about that? You know, like what would happen? What if?
I'm writing that down, really.
Yeah. We have
I'll
a
make a
couple,
suspense out of it.
yeah. We have a couple of questions from Laura. She says, let's see, do you believe that all works of fiction, I can't see it, I gotta put it up on the screen. Here, hang on. It'll come across to you. Do you believe that all works of fiction have at least a small element of personal experience somewhere within them that was the catalyst for the story itself? Thank you, Laura.
Yeah, not necessarily. I think that
Totally, yeah.
not personal experience, but when I write, a lot of times I'll go look for news articles of real life situations and then take that situation and try to mold it the way that I want it to work for my story. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, definitely. That's a great question, Laura. This is something we talked about before. Cheryl says, have you ever woken up at night needing to write something down for a story? Which I know I've had to write down ideas. This is why she always carries pens in her purse for anyone who just joined us. Laura has one more question too. She wants to know what makes you smile. What really just makes you super happy?
Puppies.
Awesome.
Puppies.
Like,
I mean,
puppies everywhere. I agree.
Dogs in general. I love dogs. But sometimes my kids and I will just go to the pet store in Wilsonville and they have puppies and we'll just hold the puppies. And then it's like, yeah, it's so fun.
And you have the Capital Canine unit, so that's something.
I do. And my next book coming out in April is another canine unit. And there's a puppy on the cover. It's so cute. And my heroine is a trainer of canine officers and their handlers. And she gets to have a puppy she trains. And so it's really fun.
I know that I've seen like the Harlequin trailers where they do the behind the scenes for the book. So like when they shoot the models and they tell about their background, like how old this model is and how long the shoot took and where they did the shoot. I'm wondering like how adorable the puppies are. Like how do they pick these little puppies for Harlequin?
No.
Anything with like horses or dogs. It's so cute.
I know. Well, my editor did a lot of finding pictures of puppies and sending those in for the cover of the next book. So she was, I want a puppy on your book. I'm like, okay.
You're like, I am all in. Well, we've come to the end of our questions, but I want to thank you again for talking with us about Ransom. You guys need to check this out. It is amazing. And we have some fantastic goodies that I showed everyone in the beginning. We have a makeup palette, a notebook, and this candle smells amazing. It's jasmine and freesia and sandalwood and amber, and there's a surprise charm inside. So thank you to Bella J for partnering with us for the chat, and thank you guys for your questions, and thank you so much, Terri. It's been great.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you, and hope everybody has a good week. Enjoy my book.
Happy reading, guys. Absolutely. Take care, everybody. Bye. Bye.